Alright gamers, this is Terra. Welcome to the weekly update. Before I get stuck into this, because I always keep forgetting to mention it, all of the indicators you see here are my own. You can access them in the link in the description down below. And I've got new ones coming soon, and you can access all of them for like a one-off thing, or you can get individual ones if you like the look of some more than others. The first one of those I'm going to bring your attention to is down here. This is my flow table. You also get the flow levels with this one, which mark out your highs and lows on different time frames and all this sort of fun stuff. But for now, we're just going to look at this because on the left side here is NQ, on the right side here is ES, and it's a way to see on all the 7 time frames available whether there's a sweep, bullish or bearish, change of state of delivery, shifts, or market structure breaks, when it happened, and which was the most recent, and if there's any divergences between the two. Super useful. I can see all time frames on both assets at all times. And it's live. It's in real time. These blue borders here are telling me that there is a bullish state of delivery change to the upside pending. It will confirm and go black border like this when that time frame's candle closes. So that's how you use this chart right here. And you can see everything is fully blue, or blue is bullish for me. I like blue instead of green. And with everything looking bullish, I want to look at the trend lines. I've got 2 of them. This one here is the daily cycle trend line. This one here is the weekly cycle trend line. The weekly has been holding up for weeks on end now. And it's been going since this big breakout down here back in June. So many months now. And we did get a yearly SMT at the very top. ES did make a new high back here in January. And what we're looking at here is a failed cycle on NQ, daily cycle that is, but it did not fail on ES. If I go to ES real quick, go to the daily. We're holding the trend line. We have not failed. Daily cycle. And it's just been going sideways. Now this absolutely could be a distributive top. You can see the trend line coming down in red there. We rejected off of it, and we've held this trend line to the downside. We're in no man's land. We still might be for a little while. I was wondering if we would get something like our yellow squiggle here, with the next daily cycle low due in sometime around here, which is 11th of March to the 23rd of March. Go back to NQ. We had a pretty big indecision candle. We've held the lows. We've actually, if we go down to, let's say, the daily, we broke out and we're just retesting this downward sloping trend line. So with all of our structures on all time frames being bullish, same with the shifts, which are closely related to breaks in structure. If we change our state of delivery on the daily and the weekly, which are still red right now, still down, we flip them bullish on NQ, I think we're going to get the throw over. And the throw over is what I want to see. I think there's one last little pump in this. There's way too many people, like, think of all the stuff that's going on with like Iran and all this sort of stuff that's happened over the weekend. Iran, in my opinion, is going to be no different than Venezuela was, or Greenland was, and all these sort of things where everyone's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Oh no, World War III. And then it's over in 3 days. These quote unquote wars that Trump is starting, no, he's doing no such thing. He's starting precision military strikes to take out key assets, one and done style. And there is no war. It is a surgical military strike that is getting the job done then and there. That's what we're seeing. Open your eyes and pay attention to what you're being shown, and stop listening to what liars are telling you, especially the propaganda machine of the mainstream media. Come on, folks, it's not difficult. Just stop listening to the liars, and things will make sense to you. And before I start sounding like all the other idiots out there in YouTube and Twitter world or X world, I've been watching the Middle East for a long time because I have a shit ton of Iraqi dinar. So if you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. It's not for you. But yeah, I've dabbled in foreign currencies for a long time. And I've been watching for this whole Iran-Iraq thing for a number of years now. And it's happening right now. So all the stuff that's going on in Iran, none of it is a surprise to me. I've been waiting years for it to happen. I'm glad to see it's finally happened. We're now going to see what happens next. All I see back here at home is that people are using this as more doomsaying and, oh no, it's the end of the world, it's World War III, everyone sell, everyone sell. I ain't selling. I am not selling yet. But I'm right on the edge of being able to let go of that analysis. But for now, I'm expecting a throw over to the upside. Then we can talk about the major downturn for the next year or so. In the meantime, we're still kind of just bouncing between these trend lines, and we're not really doing anything. For weeks now, we've not really been doing anything. So there's not really much more to say than that. And I've got my fair value gaps indicator on. I use it in analysis mode right now, which is mitigate highlight. So it will show me all the mitigated and unmitigated chart-based gaps. And I've got it on daily, and there's only this one down here which was touched back in November and it bounced out of. There are no open, respected, or untouched, unmitigated fair value gaps right now on the daily. There are none on the weekly, except these lows that we've been tapping into. They're grey bordered because they're mitigated. If I go down here, here are some unmitigated ones with no border. There's lots of them left behind, but these ones have been getting respected for months on end now. So, and if you know about, which you should know about, internal to external liquidity, it goes from internal, which is like a fair value gap, like here, or an order block or anything like that, to an external, which is a wick end. So we've gone from internal to external. The external's up here. The next day. If we drop down to here, previous quarter low, then that's our potential reversal point. If we go up here, which is what I'm expecting, the throw over, this is what I'm looking for. I want to see these highs get taken in one last little pump. It'll be the UTAD. So we get the, I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. So we get the, I don't know, it could look like anything really, but we get the throw over to the top and then we start breaking down. That's kind of what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see it actually, because no one wants to see a downturn in the markets, but they happen. Anyway, let's go down to the 4 hour and have a look what we got. So we've got some unmitigated 4 hours above us. We've respected this 4 hour below us at the level of the trend line, which is also still being respected. And we're bouncing around this. You see, you've got this red level in the middle here. It's from the 18th of December. It's a 4 hour inversion fair value gap. It's been getting held onto for weeks, all the way back here. And it was where the cycle low came and the cycle that ultimately failed. And we've just been chopping around that level for a while now. We bounce below it for a couple of days. We go above it for a couple of days. We come back below it. Trend line here, trend line there. Liquidity here, liquidity there. We're just bouncing around all over the place. And last week, one key level that I absolutely expected to get hit was our weekly point of control. And we went to it, and that's where we reversed from. This is why, on my profiles indicator, this is why I watch weekly points of control. They are some of the biggest gravity points for liquidity. When we reversed out of here, made perfect sense to me that I knew we were going to go short and back down. I didn't expect it to have quite a sell-off on Thursday. It was pretty big. But hey-ho, it is what it is. These things happen. They happen quite regularly. None of these candles stand out as anything unusual to me. And we bounced out of this 4 hour at the top here after hitting our weekly point of control, after touching all of these. Now, I ideally would have loved for it to just kind of stay up here, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Hey-ho, is what it is. We've got the sell-off, and now we're coming back down to the downside. Are we going to basically go and do the same thing all over again? Copy and paste repeat of last week's analysis, but to the upside. I don't know, honestly. I think this is a neutral point. It could go up or down, which is always the case, yes, but you can always anticipate it's looking more bearish to me, it's looking more bullish to me, one of the two. Well, right now, overall, higher time frame, I think it's bullish, and we've got this one final push to the upside. But there's no denying this is definitely more of a bearish structure. We got this. That's not what I wanted to do. This one. Down, sideways, down. That's what that could indicate to me. So if we break down below this trend line here, then forget the whole bullish thesis. Then I think we're absolutely going short, and we're just going to chop down into the weekly, into the daily cycle low, which is coming in the middle of March, which is only a couple of weeks away. It's about 2 weeks away. So we could have 2 weeks of downside before we have a final little pump up and have a good summer. Maybe that's what happens. Who knows? But March is absolutely false flag season. Same with September. Months 3 to 4 and 9 to 10 are your false flag months. So if anything, with all this military stuff going on in the world, if anything's about to happen with, like, say, an aircraft carrier, then it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. If it doesn't happen, then that's kind of what I'm expecting. I think everyone wants, everyone's going like, oh, there's going to be something, there's going to be something. Yeah, there could be. There absolutely could be. But so far I'm seeing surgical military precision. I'm not seeing setups for larger conflicts. There are going to be more. There's going to be a lot more conflicts. We've still got Turkey, Pakistan, India still to go. Venezuela, Greenland, Canada's probably right around the corner as well. And the big head of the snake is England. And if you have any idea what I'm talking about, that will make sense to you. If you don't worry about it. It's a conversation for another day. But I'm starting to ramble and I'm going off topic, so I'm gonna cut it out. We've got some levels to above us, so we could chop around. I want to lean bullish. I do. We're holding this trend line. The trend line's my line in the sand for the downside, and I want to see things continue up. You see, you know, we're going up, right? It's high lows every time, high lows every time, and we're getting sweeps on the higher time frames. All of our sweeps are bullish sweeps. If these just haven't flipped bullish yet, then that's good. I think we go up. You know, we did sweep the high, then we came down and held the low. So if we bounce around here and start turning back to the upside, I maintain my bullish stance overall. I think coming back to retest this level was a given. I think this level could be the next level we retest in our 4-hour level up here. Then it's about picking out and sweeping these highs before the actual major correction really starts going. You can see we've got the 1-hour levels down here were respected. A couple 1-hour levels above us. A couple 1-hour levels above us up here too. Really, that's all she wrote. It was such a sideways. If I go to the weekly candle. Here we go. Indecision candle, basically. Yes, it closed red or white, as I have it. I don't like the color red and green. The white candle, it held the lows, but it finished slightly lower. Yeah. Sweep to the downside, maybe come touch this level one more time. If we recover, that's really bullish. If we don't recover and we close low, I think, you know, we're 1 or 2 weeks away from really getting some answers here. This past week hasn't given us an answer. We went to the liquidity levels and came right back to where we started. So it's like, oh, wow, it's not really what I wanted to see. But hey ho, that's really all there is to it. Gold and silver are starting to make their moves. Gold and silver are not done. In fact, I think they're just beginning. If you sold your silver here, that sucks to be you. If you have gold and you continue to hold your gold, continue to hold your gold. We absolutely will get a 4-year cycle low at some point, but this could easily happen from up here. Absolutely could easily happen from all the way up here, guys. All the way up here. Don't worry about selling this stuff if you've got physical. If you've got physical, hold on to your physical. If you've got physical metals, consider it the longest term investments that you have. Not financial advice, but I sure as hell would not be selling my physical gold and silver. I helped my dad buy a ton of, not literal ton, but a whole bunch of physical metals, and we've got them stashed away. They're going to be gathering a lot more dust yet before we sell them, let me tell you that. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's kind of shit in the bed. Currently looking at these levels down here, 50 to 52k for a potential bounce. I'll be surprised if it goes lower. Honestly, we're already quite far below the operating costs for the network. I think if we go much lower than this, like all the way down here, oh man, that might be just the end of the network, but who the hell knows? I think this is not going to do anything until like the end of the year. Honestly, I think 52k is where, if you want to buy spot, get it at 52k and just wait it out, we will be going higher. Bitcoin is never going to go anywhere. It's all or nothing. The cycles will continue. But yeah, buy spot at 52k is what I would do if you were to ask my opinion on the whole thing. But I wouldn't buy leverage there. I would wait for a bottom to form, and I would buy some leverage on the way back up and let that develop and let it have its time to work its way back up. Looking at the daily here, there is something I haven't mentioned. This yellow line, this vertical yellow line, is the my mind's gone blank. The failed daily cycle. We've also got failed daily cycle on the NQ here, and this yellow line is the half cycle low. Here's your full cycle. Here's your half cycle low in the middle. That is this yellow line right here. And even though it's a failed cycle, it's not failed on ES. Not failed on, is it failed on the Dow? I don't know. I haven't checked the Dow in a while. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But we chopped around here. And Tuesday the 17th, the day before, because there is a bit of tolerance here, was where I think the cycle, half cycle low came in. And we've been pushing up ever since, which is good. I kind of want to see this continue. I want to see this continue up. Maybe a little flush down and a recovery. That would be good. That's what I want to see. And in the meantime, orb is king. Here's a little preview of an orb indicator that I've been building. As you can see from this little dashboard, it had a pretty good week last week. Fully automated, fully hands-off. And yeah, a few little things to kind of close out. But well, would you look at that? If that ain't 6 years worth of a nice green uptrend on the same orb system that I just showed you, just on a slightly different time frame. Playing around with a whole bunch of settings. This is not prop firm friendly. This is personal account overnight long-term trading system where you can just set up an account and walk away and come back and check it a year later. That's what this system is being built for. But I mean, look at that equity curve. Beautiful. Beautiful. Conversation for another day. I'm still working on that indicator. I'm going to make sure it's correct before I release it. But I'm very, very happy with how it's been going. It's actually become what I trade day to day now. Anyway, I've rambled enough because I love to ramble. And no one really watches these videos anyway. So whatever. But yeah, if you're interested in the indicators that I use, I build them all myself. And you can get access in the link down below. You send me and use them to do my analysis throughout and what I keep an eye on and how I watch all of this stuff. Hopefully these videos help. And if you do get the indicators, WOP has a bit of a problem with their integration with TradingView right now. So sign up, send me a message with your username, and I will have to manually add you. The automated access system on WOP isn't working right now. I don't know what their problem is. It's been broken for a couple of weeks. I'll try and get it fixed, but it's a problem with WOP and their TradingView integration. Hopefully they'll fix it soon. But if you want to get it, just send me a message. I check it every day. I will add you manually to whatever you sign up for. Thanks very much, guys. Line in the sand is this trend line. If we go below it, give it a day or two to close back above it. I think we're going bullish otherwise. I don't think we've seen the last of this just yet, but as time creeps on, we need to see it move up. We need to see it move up in the next week or two. Otherwise, it probably ain't going to. So I'm very, very close to abandoning the bullish stance. But for now, I maintain bullish. All right. See you later, guys.